What's going on, Eagles Nation, Galaxy, Universe, all that good stuff. This week, a little different than some weeks in the past, right? I think we know why. But I just want to start off by getting something off my chest that I believe my co hosts feel as well. So let's get into that. Then we'll start the regular scheduled program.
Or who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Thanks, Coach.
That goes out to the media. That goes out to Arlington football team fans and all the other haters who have decided this week that since we got a tight loss, there's so much that needs to be said about the Philadelphia Eagles. So back to our regular schedule program. We got a lot to say. So let's get to it. First, we're going to go ahead and bring on Eagles Diva. What's going on, Eagles Diva?
What's up? What's happening? Eagles Nation? Bird Gang? What's good?
Not that game. I can tell you that. That's for sure. But it's all good because guess what? It ain't over. It ain't
never
over.
over. It ain't never over.
Wyatt, what's going on, man?
What's happening, everybody? I'm just ready to dive into this game. We have a lot to talk about on this episode.
A whole heck of a lot. And also joining us, Miss J Swoop herself.
J Swoop.
Swoop, swoop.
We're going to do it different today. We're going to put the ladies up top. And me and Wyatt going to chill on the lower end tonight. We switch it up a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen.
Where's my sound?
We hear you.
You're here. We hear you. Can you hear us?
Sorry.
I don't think so.
All right, well, while J Swoop is getting that worked out, we're going to go ahead.
Technical difficulties. Sorry about that.
And we're going to start with that first topic. And this is something that's going to be very, 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 very interesting to talk about. We got some breaking news. We got some trades and some signings and stuff to talk about. But we cannot start this show until we talk about the review of this game. So, J Swoop, I'm going to let you set it off. Talk to us. Whatever you want to say. Matter of fact, we're going to do this a little bit different today, too. Whatever you want to say. Go for it.
Would it be okay if I defer to Miss Eagles Diva to go first and then me? Would that be okay? No? Yes? I know that she's been wanting. Okay, no. All right. Okay, I just caught that. Sorry about that. Okay. Oh, she's there. Miss Eagles Diva, I know you've been wanting to go. So go.
I don't. So first of all, the offense. We did not stick to the run game. I don't know why Nick and the OC does not believe in the run game. Some games we want to do it. Some games we don't. This was definitely not the game not to have your run game going early. I didn't understand that. I didn't understand the jelly hands that everybody had. I'm still trying to figure out why Quez got up. The only thing that I could think about was he understood that he was not touched and he was trying to get more yardage. But I would have rather for you just to stay down than to fumble that ball in those critical moments of that game. That cannot happen. That just can't happen. Period. As I've always said, when you running the ball always opens up better field options. Always throwing the ball down the field is not going to get you where you need to be. You have to run the ball. You got Miles Sanders, you got Gainwell, you got people that can run that ball. Why aren't you running it? Like, Miles is having the best season of his life. So I'm not understanding why we're not running the ball. On to this raggedy ass defense. Okay, so defense is not raggedy. Let me rephrase that. Gannon is raggedy. Gannon does not know how to make adjustments, and as we have seen, the run game is going to tear us up every time. Because why he doesn't understand the run game, I don't know. But he does not make adjustments when he see that week after week we're getting ran down our throats with the run game. It happened with Texans. It happened with Washington. It's going to happen. It's going to keep happening if he doesn't make adjustments. You have top CBs and top safeties in the league. I'm not understanding why you are not running schemes that fit them. CJ, my boy is balling. Always got to take away every game. Can always depend on him to get a takeaway. But if you're not calling specific plays for these players and you're not giving them help on certain players and you just sitting there and you keep just chilling, you're not turning up the dial, you're not blitzing. Like it should have been pressure on Taylor Henneke the whole game. Like I maybe saw pressure twice. I didn't understand that. So I said that. I said if we don't stick to the game plan, we're going to lose. And what happened? We ain't stick to the game plan on the offense or the defense, and we lost. That's on us. It ain't on nobody but the Philadelphia Eagles why that game was lost. But guess what? It took 10 weeks, though. It took 10 weeks. So for all y'all haters to say, oh, y'all lost to the Commanders. 10 weeks. Who else did it take 10 weeks to lose? Okay. Y'all go next. I'm done. I'm done.
I just want to acknowledge some few people in the comments. Cynthia Harts, I 1,000% agree with you. The game was a farce. King DV Sports was good, man.
Hey.
Elisa, how are you doing today? Glad that you guys are watching. Are you ready now, J Swoop? Are you prepared,
Yes,
or do we need to? Okay, I just want to make sure you were good to go.
No, sir.
All right,
Sir,
so we're gonna go.
I am prepared. I just knew that Miss Eagles Diva was just bursting to go. So, yes, sir, I am ready to go. And I make notes during the game just at my
Fair
age
enough.
of 55. I want to make sure I cover everything. So, just Washington just controlled the clock like I haven't seen them do it. I can't remember in how long. That drive that went over 7 minutes and 13 plays. I mean, I even text my neighbor next door. I'm like, when they finally scored a touchdown, I'm like, I finally, not that I wanted them to score, but I was like, oh my God. But they just took very good command of the clock. They worked it well. I love my Eagles, and I can accept a loss like Miss Eagles Diva, but I just it was the we didn't lose because, in my opinion, of the very bad calls by the referees. So that is not a reason why we lost at all. We take our lumps and we move on. We don't make excuses. I just have to discuss that Dallas Goddard face mask that I'm pretty sure most of the world saw. And I didn't realize that unless a ref sees it, an instant replay doesn't matter. So, there she is. So, and he ended up getting an injury just because of that. So it was just amazing. That and, gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, moving on. I wasn't happy that their kicker, was it Joey Sly, if I said that right, got a career high of 58-yard field goal. That didn't make me feel better. And Lincoln Financial Field was eerily quiet for most of the game. I don't think I've heard them that quiet in a very long time. And it's just never a very good sign. one of the mistakes that I think that Eagles made in the fourth quarter, just, I'm sorry, I already mentioned the face mask. So, I mean, I have a German Shepherd. Everybody saw that. And if he was a CNI dog, he would have seen that. Trust me for him. And Quez Watkins, like Miss Diva said, I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but I'm pretty sure that made all of us go, oh, no. But again, all the bad calls that the refs made is not an excuse. So, and what was it, if anybody out there that's watching can explain to me, when Heineken, I don't know what quarter it was, looked to me like he bent down to tie a shoelace and then he was hit. I didn't understand that move by him where we got called on that. I don't know. They won fair and square. It just looked shady to me, Heineken, when he did that. And then he was like overly like proud of himself and excited after that call. And I thought that was pathetic. And yes, King Quez is human, and I totally agree. I totally agree. But the biggest thing, I think, one of the biggest things for Washington was they just I'm sorry to say this, they just dominated that clock. And when they scored with 5 seconds left, I felt like somebody slapped me across the face. I was like, oh, that was like the nail in the coffin for me. Too many fumbles. 3 I'll count. 1 I won't because Dallas got hurt. And gosh, it was just, I don't know if we weren't prepared for it or play callers. And don't get me started on Gannon. And it was just an Eagles mess from the get-go. And I hope, I've read a lot of articles where in the last day, quotes from Eagles players. And my consensus was that on a whole, I got the impression was, it's over, let's put it behind us and move on. And I'm thinking, oh, please learn from whatever mistakes that you made that you can correct. Please learn to control the clock a little bit better. And I almost feel guilty, like I'm dogging my team, but that's just the way they played to me. So all right, I think I'm done. I'll be quiet. So I just feel guilty because I feel like I'm picking on my team, but that's how they played. So
Wyatt, would you like to go next, sir?
Yeah, I'll go, man. Pretty much what happened is exactly what we talked about the past couple weeks. Is we beat ourselves. That's exactly what happened. This looked like a game from the 2019 season when with Wentz under center, like every wide receiver dropping balls, fumble, just mistakes at every turn. Jalen, and I hate the narrative that's going around right now that it was like Washington's defense was the huge story out of this, because I wasn't impressed with their defense at all. I feel like when the wide receivers were making plays, catching balls, they weren't dropping anything. We were actually moving the ball pretty successfully down the field, except for maybe like 1 drive or 2 drives. So, I mean, the offense, I didn't really have much of a problem with, other than like what was mentioned with the run game, or that lack thereof, because we could have easily controlled the clock just like they did. And that's exactly what we've been doing all season so far. So it's so odd that they all of a sudden decide to go to like this pass heavy offense for this game instead of just running it and trying to take as much clock off as you possibly can. It's so weird. Everything about this game has been weird, especially that aspect. Everything with the refs, like has already been mentioned. Gannon, there's 0 adjustments. I know we've talked about Gannon already, but there's 0 adjustments being made to cover up the terrible run defense there. They're not blitzing at all, which would have helped in certain situations. We should be pulling linebackers down for some help. I just have no idea what's going on. I'm going to kind of count this as maybe like a fluke, not a fluke game, because they won fair and square. But I mean, as far as what the Philadelphia Eagles put out there on the field, I don't expect that going forward. I expect them to clean this up. I know it's not really a short week. It's just like a 1 day short, but you're coming up on a game against a Colts team that we'll talk about. So it's like, I expect this to be a very different team from what we saw this past, Monday night. So I I don't know what else to say that hasn't been said. It's just they need to fix something with this defense and fix it quick. I'm not nearly as worried about the offense as much.
All right. I'm going to start off with Blue City Empire Sports. I have a lot to say. So, first of all, Blue City Empire Sports. I want you to answer a question for me. How many teams are going to hurt our starting tight end? How many teams are going to somehow find a way? Oh, that's beautiful.
Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. You don't need my camera. You can still hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. Camera didn't want everybody to see me when I say this. It's all good. What I want Blue City Empire Sports to explain to me, what I want you to help me understand is who else is going to take the ball out of AJ Brown's hand when he's got a big play down the field? Who else is going to allow a guy to be wide open, get up, run the ball, and then punch it out? Who else is going to have their quarterback get touched, sit up, take a hit, and then overplay it like he's LeBron James from 3 years ago? Who else is going to allow these things to happen? Because if you could tell me another team that's going to allow these things, that's going to be able to do all those things, then yeah, there's a blueprint. But I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you exactly what happened. And Jalen Hurts put it best. Hungry dogs run faster. We were 8-0, best start in franchise history. It's what you call feeling yourself, right? Nobody's perfect. Everybody does it. We felt ourselves. And in feeling ourselves, we made some mistakes. Guess who's
Yay.
back?
Back
Back
again.
again. And also, man, there's always a narrative that, oh, this, oh, that, oh, this, oh, that. No, what just happened is Philadelphia Eagles had a bad game and we lost. No one else is going to be able to do that to us, period, because guess what's going to happen? Nobody else is going to have Shane Steichen turn into Nick Sirianni against the 49ers year one. Okay? So we're going to leave that alone from there because there's a lot more I can say about that, but we only got an hour. We can't waste a whole hour with that. Miss Harts. We're going to agree with Miss Harts. I'm going to let Miss Harts say it right here real quick, too. Very shady. Team fell apart. Bad calls. Lack of calls. Crazy plays. Makes me question the integrity of the game. I still love the Eagles. I don't know what happened in that game. That's a great way to put it. Okay. Hey, Jennifer from King TV Sports. Also, I wanted to talk about, so why are we not prepping players correctly? We went out time and time again and played a stupid soft zone, and they got big plays on third downs when we had stopped them on first and second down because zones. You hand off through a zone. You had Josiah Scott. You did not have your starting third corner, your starting slot corner. He's on injured reserve. So why are we playing soft zone? Why are we playing cover two and man on the front side? Why are we not doing that? With Terry McLaurin out there. There's so much to complain about the defense. I'm not even going to take the time. I'm just simply say this. I'm glad we brought in reinforcements, another stalwart, heavy, large guy that can clog up the middle. That's something that we've been missing the last few weeks. And hopefully when Davis is back, we'll have both of them and they'll both get snaps and be able to help solidify that run defense. A lot of bad offensive play calling at the end of the first half has been ticking me off ever since it happened. We get the ball after they score. I think we're up, what was it? 6? I can't even remember. So it was like 14 to 10. Yeah, that was it. We get the ball. It's about 3 minutes left. Instead of saying, hey, we're getting near the end of the game. Let's run the ball 3 times, either make them lose their timeouts or run the clock down. What do? Throw. We gave them 3 extra timeouts. Didn't get a first down. Kick the ball back to them. They come down and score again. And they had all the momentum from that point moving forward. That can't happen. Jalen Hurts, there were some throws that he should have made. A couple of times I would like him to move around a little bit more than he didn't. It is what it is. But it's been nailed and talked about by everybody. We need to run the mother freaking ball to win games. I don't know who doesn't understand that. There's a play caller for this team. But if you don't, I need to get a billy club and I need to come to Philadelphia and I need to teach you a lesson. Don't you ever, Shane Steichen and Nick Sirianni, don't you ever go out there and not run the ball at least 15 times and a half. Who do you think you are? You know what works. What were you doing? This was a loss by the entire team. And of course, trashy, raggedy special teams like every week. Britton Covey gets 5 yards. These things need to be fixed, and there's time to fix these things. But guess what? Even with all that, we're still in first place. Okay? We're still the team that everybody needs to beat again to move up. What's going on, Brian? Bleeding green, baby. So what I want everyone to still understand is the Philadelphia Eagles are still the team to beat. You better be watching for us. You better be checking for us. And all I have to say is all these teams, fans that are out here popping off, talking all this trash, posting all these memes and different stuff. Our players have social media too. Our players see these things. And guess what? There's this thing they call a bulletin board they have in locker rooms where they put things to help motivate the players. I want to thank the media. I want to thank all these haters from all these teams that are worse than us because there's a team that's better than us. Minnesota has the same record as us. They're our kids. They're our sons, and they're our sons. We own them when we play them. Understand that and don't forget that. So what I want everyone to understand is simply this. Be ready. There's a beast that gets unleashed when you lose. When you get embarrassed, you come back stronger, or you lay down and you cry and your season is over. We're not the Pittsburgh Steelers from a few years ago. You better know that and you better be prepared. If you play us the rest of the season, I feel sorry for your hindquarters. I want to say another word, but I'm not going to.
Hiney.
And that's all that I'm going to say. I have another 2 hours of stuff to say, but that's all I'm going to say about that particular game. Now, Wyatt, we're going to go ahead and switch over, man, because the more we just dwell on this subject, the more my blood begins to boil. So we're going to talk about, got a couple of signings and some different things going on with the team, Wyatt.
Yeah.
So talk to us about that, man.
Well, we're just going to continue with the bad news first. Dallas Goedert on IR, out at least 4 weeks. Pretty much because of that same exact play we talked about with the face mask. Whether it was called or not, he was going to get hurt. But still, it's more about the safety of the player. Like, why isn't the NFL released a statement or have done anything about this as of right now? Like, these refs should be started to be held accountable for these types of decisions they're making. And also, our defensive tackle, Marlon Tuapalatu, he's on IR as well. He has a knee injury. They don't even know he's going to be out for in the rest of the season. He might be out done for the rest of the season here.
Yep.
And on good news, Tyree Jackson, tight end, he is off the PUP list. He has made it to the 53-man roster. He's going to be active. And we also signed safety Marquise Blair to the practice squad as well. And we opened up the 21-day practice window for defensive end Janarius Robinson. And the signing that you alluded to, we signed two-time Pro Bowler defensive tackle Linval Joseph. He's played for the Giants, also played for the Vikings and the Chargers here. He is 34 years old. He's getting up there, but like what you mentioned, he's not here to get sacks. He's there to just block up that line. He's mainly here to help stop that run. And I feel like him going these next 2 weeks, because they're saying he's probably going to even play on Sunday, like that soon. And this dude, come on now.
Oh, we got 2 games against them. We ain't played them yet, so talk now.
Yeah, and I'm not scared of that New York offense at all.
I'm not
Good luck
scared of
keeping up with
anything
us.
the
You can
Giants
run the ball all you want. You ain't keeping up with this offense. But anyway, we got 2 weeks left until Jordan Davis comes back. They're already saying he's walking around. He's looking fine. It's just a matter of waiting the next 2 weeks. So you have Jordan Davis coming back along with this dude we just picked up. That should help out that defensive line against the run here going forward. It's a huge blow for tight end with Dallas Goedert, but with some of the depth that we have at tight end, I'm not as worried about it because we do have guys that have proven they can play, they can catch, and Jack Stoll is a hell of a blocker as well, too. So I'm not as worried about that. Exactly, for the next 4 weeks or so. But I'm not afraid of those Giants. Come on now. I'm not worried about those Giants one bit. You still got Danny Nichols as your QB. I ain't worried about no Giants. Come on now.
So the thing is, the Giants' best hope to get a win was for us to win on Sunday night. I mean, on Monday night. And since we didn't win, it's going to be tough. The L was coming because, and we talked about this before. I've been saying this since the offseason. The Eagles always lose to a team they shouldn't. This is our MO. So I'm not upset about the loss necessarily. I'm upset about how we played in the loss. You go out there, you play a certain way, you get beat. You go out there and you continuously, multiple games, don't take care of business. Sooner or later, it's going to bite you, and it bit us, and that's okay. Maybe that's what was needed to jar everyone and get everyone moving in the right direction. But guess what? People like Blue City Empire Sports be here every week. Blue City Empire Sports. I love the smoke. But just remember this, we're still better than y'all.
Yeah, we want all the smoke. We don't care what y'all say. It took 10
Right.
weeks. Just remember
We're
that.
still
It
better
still
than
took 10 weeks. Remember that.
And no one likes us, and we don't care. So you know,
Right.
saying that,
Come
we
back
appreciate
next week. Come
you. Yeah, we
back.
appreciate you here. Now, don't get me wrong. We love to have you here, and we love the smoke. Just remember, you got two dates with us, and we're gonna call it 2 dates with Destiny, and be prepared for those.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Absolutely. And man, I think Tyree Jackson is going to be a huge pickup. It'll take a little time. I don't care that you beat the Titans because the Titans are hot and cold. I definitely don't care that you beat the Packers because the only team that they beat is who?
Dallas.
Right.
Chicago Bears, trash.
Arlington
Trash.
Cowgirls.
Lamar, the Ravens not
The
looking like
Chicago
the Ravens.
Bears. Ooh, you
Come
beat
on
the
now.
Chicago Bears.
Let's think
That's
about
what
it.
you want to
When has
brag about,
Dallas
man?
ever beat the Packers anyway? The Packers can lose every game and still gonna beat Dallas. So
Daniel Jones only has like 2 games where he threw over 200 yards.
listen,
Screw
they
it.
got
What's
Barkley,
going
and I
on?
say,
Screw it.
You got Daniel Jones is everything that they were saying Jalen Hurts was a glorified running back. That's exactly what Daniel Jones is.
What
And I also want to say about you, I'm gonna put this up for everybody to see. And you beat Lamar Jackson comment. So I'll give you this. You did beat Lamar Jackson, but a lot of it might have to do with the fact that your defensive coordinator was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens last year and knew everything about Lamar Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
first of all,
So the only impressive wins I'll give you the Lamar Jackson win against the Ravens because you actually didn't beat Lamar Jackson, you beat the Ravens. The Titans win. Come on. The Packers win.
Titans,
if you brag about that this year, bro, that's like saying, "Oh, we beat the Texans." So don't bring me that. And the Chicago Bears, that's like saying we beat
a
the
high school
XFL
team.
That's like saying we beat an XFL, USFL team. Come on, man. Let's not do that. Let's have a better argument than that. If you want to sit here and talk about how the Eagles had beat somebody, and this is what you want to talk about, is your impressive resume.
Same with Dallas. Same with the Arlington fans, man. It's like you guys almost have the exact same schedule as us, and you sitting here saying we have an easy schedule. Like, come on.
I respect that, Blue City Empire Sports. As long as you show up, I respect that.
Yeah. Gotta go with the team,
I'm
man.
still talking about the Lamar Jackson though. Like that team. Come on, y'all. Come on.
She's getting all
Ravens
set.
haven't been that impressive this year.
But that's their
either.
best win. But that's their best win. So you got to talk about your best win.
Hey,
talk about your best
gotta
win.
give it to him. Yeah.
Okay.
You got to talk about your
All
best
right.
win.
On to the next.
Like we blew out the Minnesota Vikings, you know, at home.
And they're the
Let's
only
talk
other
about
team
that.
that's 8-1.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because we beat them because they're not good because we beat them.
Exactly. Oh, because Kirk Cousins somehow doesn't play well at 8 o'clock. You know, that's their excuse. You play Kirk Cousins at prime time. GTFO, get out of here with that excuse. Come on, man.
King David. When did we have control over the schedule? When did this become a thing?
Yeah,
we
you
don't
play
have
the teams
control
you
over
give
that.
And these are
Always
NFL
King
teams.
DV.
Excuses.
Get him, DV. That's right.
So next we're gonna move on to our player or pariah of the game. We had some decent performances from the offense and the defense. We also had some poor performances. So we'll start with our resident fiery Eagles female, Miss J Swoop herself, and we'll just swing
I
around.
knew he was gonna call me first after last time. Well, you know what? You know how I am with player of the week. I'm very literal. I can't pick a couple people. I have to literally pick one because you said one player of the week. So I got to go with CJ. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what? He just he had 5 interceptions in the straight in the last couple
5
games.
games.
5 games, right?
Thank you. I did that without looking at my notes. Yeah.
We have 6 now.
Yeah, 6.
You got 6 overall, but 5
Thank
in 5
you, Wyatt.
games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I made a note here. Gardner read Heine when he jumped McLaren for the pick. So I gotta like that. And it's that unnecessary roughness. I'm going to talk about that again. We already brought that up. And I think that Jalen Hurts is another honorable mention, of course. You know, if I know we didn't win, but if I take little bits of AJ Brown and some other players, you know, it was they all did their part. I would have forgive me for saying this. Just you know what? Play your hearts out. Play as best as you can. If you lose, I accept that. I get it. You know, and if that's what the Eagles team did, I'm not saying they didn't. If that's how the team feels, then I am all for that. Leave it all on the field. Do the very best that you can. Try not to trip over Heine next time he ties his shoe in the middle of the field. So, yep, that's all I got. She's making me laugh.
I will take a quick.
Sorry, I at this comment. My bad, y'all.
No, that's okay.
Second, we have 2 games against the New York Giants. Blue City Empire Sports. You have an open invitation. Send me a friend request on Facebook, Cool McCain, and I'll make sure you have the link so that you can hop on when we play the Giants both times. I would love for you to come on, and then you can come on the week after, whether you win or lose as well. Because if you think you're going to bring smoke to this show,
sorry,
you better bring backup.
Or we might want to block him. We're Eagles fans. You can never come hard for us. What is?
Yeah.
You must be smoking some crack.
He think he talking about the Arlington football team.
Wait a minute.
Commies.
Who's his team? Who's his team?
He's the
midgets. The midgets.
No, he's not.
Yes, he
Sorry, Blue City. As far as I know, Bird Gang, Ride or Die, Bleed.
We'll figure out a way to make it
loyal.
work. You got Twitter?
Bring it back.
You got Instagram? You got something? All we need is one. So I can get you the link.
I don't have Facebook.
Well, you Rob ain't on here tonight.
Excuses. Blue City. Thank you, my husband.
Hey, but either way, you just let us know the platform.
He's in the other room.
We'll bring.
DV said, "Bring him on." Oh, yeah, you always welcome over here, DV.
Yes, sir. We'll make sure that you can get on that week as well, sir. We'll figure it out. But I just want to simply say, Eagles Diva, my bad. We got to go in order. So you're next. You're player or pariah of the game. Sorry, I was about to go in. Hold it back.
I'm gonna go with Smitty Smith. It was his birthday, and he did catch a few plays and a touchdown. So my player of the game is Smitty Smith Schmidt.
Okay. My player of the game, I'm gonna go with what Jay Swoop said. CJ out here still making plays. Historic Eagle at this point. He hasn't even been on the team that long. He's out here getting all these interceptions. My pariah of the game, though, is Fletcher Cox. This dude has done nothing for weeks. What is it? Like, this dude gone. And I'm glad we brought him in on a 1-year deal because he needs to go after this year. And listen, I thank you for everything you've done, Fletcher Cox. But, man, you got to go. You got to perform or you gone because you need to do something. Like, you haven't had, any stats. I think he has, 1 sack on the season, maybe. But we brought you back and we gave you some good dough to come back. And you're not performing. So, I mean, that's one thing I wanted to mention is I didn't realize how old this D line is. I mean, we have a couple young bucks on there. But I feel like that's a lot of the issue that's coming out of this defensive line. We just have a lot of old heads. Even though the rest of the team young, we still stuck with some of the core that we've had there. Javon Hargrave has been playing great. Yeah. Josh Sweat's been doing his thing as well. Brandon Graham, I mean, he had that crazy penalty, but I mean, that was kind of more of a sell by Heineke, I think, than anything. But I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, Brandon Graham's been doing his thing though. He's had a good season so far, and he's getting up there. But man, Fletcher Cox, it's not even just this year. Last year he didn't look great, and even some of the year before. So I mean, it's now you got to do something before the end of the season, going into the playoffs, or man, you gone. You an Eagle no longer.
Bye, Felicia. Bye,
Felicia.
Felicia.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
There he is.
There he
Yeah.
is.
My bad,
All
guys.
right.
Had to switch something around real quick.
I'm ready,
Get
Cole.
this back right.
Go ahead.
So I have two pariahs of the game. My first pariah is everybody on the coaching staff. You pick who you want. As a matter of fact, all of them. Special teams coach, running backs coach, wide receiver coach, defensive back coach, defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, quality control coach, everybody, head coach, all of you. You all stunk. And that's why your team lost, because you stunk.
Yeah.
Also, Quez Watkins.
Mm.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Quez Watkins. Hold on, before we go there.
Y'all didn't even make the playoffs last year. Y'all had non-thought. Like,
So,
Oh,
Green
man.
City
Like,
Empire.
go sit down. He's
Talking.
some jazz.
Your idea
Mhm.
of trolling is to talk about what happened the last year. The last year when you stunk, when you were garbage, when you were hot trash. If that's what you're going to bring, sir, I want you to go and practice. I want you to go on some other shows. I got a couple of shows I can refer you to that have other NFC East fans and Eagles fans, because you're going to need some work if that's what you think you're going to bring here. That's not even fire. That's not even a flame. That's a piece of melted ice. We don't.
But he said he was coming hard, though.
Do better. Do better. That's your lecture at hand.
Yes.
Quez Watkins. We're in what's called ball control defense. And for those people like Blue City Empire Sports that don't understand what that is, what that means is you're attempting to get the ball down the field, but you're also attempting to bleed the clock. What you're attempting to do is stop the other team from getting the ball back. So in no situation should Quez Watkins had got up once he caught the ball. But we're going to take this back to my first pariah. The wide receiver coach, the offensive coordinator, and the head coach should have made sure that the players on the team on offense understood, hey, guys, you get a big play, go down. Don't try to score. Don't try to get extra yards. Get a big play, go down, because what we're doing is we're attempting to bleed the clock but still score. Because we were at a point where we were only going to be up by 2 or 3 points when we score. So you don't want to give the other team an opportunity to come down and either A, score, because we're going to have to go for 2 if we had scored the touchdown. So if we missed it, we're only up by 1. If we make it, we're only up by 3. So you want to put us in a position where they had a minute or less on the clock and had to have burnt their timeouts in order to try to score. So you getting up and saying, oh, let me run for the end zone, all you were going to do was hurt what we really needed to do in order to win that game. But again, you should have been told, hey, if you go down, just stay down, let the clock run till they come and touch you. So I've got to give you that because you got up and ran and fumbled. You shouldn't even got up to begin with. We got some comments here. Scrub Zero says he'll pick AJ for Pariah. He need to come up big money. Now, AJ Brown's came up big in almost every game.
That's what I was about to say. You can't keep depending on AJ. Everybody else got to step up just as
It's the rest of the team. The rest of the guys got to do it. Yeah.
I mean, any other game he catches that ball that was in his hands.
Yeah, he's underwhelming, but again, we've 10 weeks in the season. This is the first time we can say AJ Brown was underwhelming. That's a wide receiver. You're going to have a week where things just aren't clicking for you. That's a part of being an NFL wide receiver. Justin Jefferson had the same kind of week against us, right?
Oh,
yeah.
So it happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Let's see what King DV has to say here. Brown got hurt. The interception was due to late hands and wasn't the same toughness as against the Steelers. That's true. I agree with that. But he might have been hurt before that play because he did wince earlier in the game.
Yeah.
Like he made a catch and he was kind of wincing.
Bit.
Yeah. So I think maybe like you just have to learn to deal with other people. It can't always be AJ Brown. But I don't disagree with you, Scrub Zero. He is the guy you expect him to show up. So, but the only reason I didn't make him pariah was the injury, and then he's been good every other game. And I expect him to come back and have a monster game this week. But simply put, everyone should have understood what to play. There are a lot of the little simple, stupid things that we did in the game. But to me, the whole coaching staff and Quez Watkins, y'all are the pariahs of the game. Don't do it again. Now we're going to go ahead, unless anyone else has any thoughts on the game last week. Anyone else they want to highlight positively or negatively, we'll move to next week. But just want to give everyone the opportunity.
No, that's it. Like we on to the next.
Fair enough. So now,
No.
this coming week, we're going up against the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts have one of the best running backs in the league in Jonathan Taylor.
Facts.
This comment I agree with 100%. I wish he would have had a big game that game because he had a big game against Washington the last time. So I was, hoping maybe he could have a repeat. Let's see what Blue City got to say this time. I wasn't even gonna bring it up, Blue City Empire
Oh my
Sports.
God.
I wasn't gonna bring it up. You know why? I don't need to. We all know what happened.
He needs a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. Sorry, slipped out.
Before the Saturday
Whoops.
experiment. So
Straight up, King.
Excuse
what I'm
me.
what I'm gonna say about the Colts, and I'll go wide and we'll just go around the other way. What I'm gonna say about the Colts is simply this: they've got Matt Ryan, I believe, is back starting. That was Saturday's decision, which I think was the right decision. It was the only decision that really made sense. Ellinger is not ready to be an NFL quarterback. He showed some glimpses, but he's not ready. When we think about the running game, Hines got traded, but they still have Jonathan Taylor and some other young guys that are solid running back. Michael Pittman Jr., he's a guy that we're going to need to focus on, as well as other wide receivers that they have on that team. They're not bereft of talent. They don't have the same level of talent. They have some injuries as well. The thing about it is there's only one or two things that's going to happen for the Philadelphia Eagles this week. There is no in between. You're either going to come out and you're going to annihilate and eviscerate the Colts because you're pissed off. You've heard for a week how you're not good enough, how you're lucky to be 8-1. You're not even that good of a team. You never should have been 8-1 and all that. And that's going to feed the fire inside of these guys. Or they're going to do like my Miami Hurricanes do every time they lose a game. And you're going to lay down and get smacked around. I personally believe it's going to be the first, but we have to see it on the field. They've talked great this week. A lot of positive things have been said by a lot of different guys, but on the field is where it matters. Why? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm pretty sure everyone's going to say number one thing is try to contain Jonathan Taylor the best you can. And what's crazy about even looking at the Washington game is they only average like 3 yards per carry, but you're still not stopping them on third downs. You're not stopping them on
runs.
Yeah, you're allowing them to get to short yardage on third down, and then you're allowing them to convert it. Even the bigger third down plays, you're still allowing them to convert it. There was one, what was it, like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13, and they ran it and they still got the first down. So it's like it's infuriating. But if they're able to somewhat contain him, even a little bit, they should be able to get pressure on Matt Ryan. I mean, I know you saw that highlight play from last week, him having like that 20-yard run. That's not going to happen. He doesn't do that every game. Like that's very rare. He's not a mobile QB. You're going to be able to get to Matt Ryan if you bring pressure, and that's the key. Can Jonathan Gannon really adjust and do something different and blitz, bring some pressure every now and then, pull some linebackers down? Because I can trust Darius Slay and Bradbury with some of these wide receivers if you're playing man. But they got to do something on defense. And I mentioned before, I'm not as worried about the offense as long as they run the ball. Like Diva said multiple times, like you have to run that ball just like Washington did against us. The only thing I'm saying about offense is you got to be a little bit more careful with the pass game. Now you don't have Dallas Goedert. Who knows what AJ or Devontae is going to look like, because they are a little banged up from last week. But you also, on that defensive side for the Colts, you got Stephon Gilmore, who can shut your game down completely. So you got to be very wary of their defense as well. I hope they come out like you were saying, man. Like, I hope they just come out, they're pissed off, and they just go out and smack them in the mouth. This is an away game, but number one key is shutting that run. And as long as they shut down that run, I think we're golden.
Fair enough. Eagles Diva, what you got?
I I mean, pretty much the same thing that both of y'all have said. You know, as long as we come out and we start, I feel like as long as we come out and we start running the ball, offense should be good because that's going to open up a lot of other plays. I think Pascal should be able to step up and have a big game. If AJ can't really go, hopefully Quez can bounce back and just come back and be big as well. Devontae, you know, he a little banged up. So everybody just got to step up, really. Might have to put Greg Ward up there. You know what I'm saying? Have him catch some balls. But defense, Gannon every time. Like his play calling, like is he really going to adjust when it comes to the run game? Because now all of the teams know that they can run the ball down our throats on the D and get multiple yards, and we can't stop it. So now, have you really sat down and looked at where you're going wrong when it comes to the running game? You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be the only way, honestly, that they beat us is the running game. But I did see Slade play a couple plays flat-footed, and you can't play like that. Like you got to play on your feet, Slade. Like, come on,
You got to play on those balls.
right?
Yeah.
You've been playing too long for that. So just it's got to be some adjustments, and I feel like if he can make some adjustments and really get it together, I feel like we should be good. But we do got to watch certain players like the ones you named, and even the throwing game. I mean, because Matt Ryan is garbage. Don't get me wrong, he's garbage, but he does have an arm when he does throw it. Sometimes he can't connect, and so we really got to watch that when he throw it over the top. So yeah, I think we got it.
Exactly.
I mean, for me, just around, I definitely have a lot to say. For me, I don't care who was in this position. I don't care if we were playing the freaking Cincinnati Bengals, the Chiefs, whoever you want. This is not the week that you want to see this team because that was an embarrassing loss. And that was a we gave the game away loss. And I'm not taking anything away from the Commanders because we've had teams in the past we gave the game to and they gave it back. So I'm not attempting to take anything away from the Commanders. But this game right here is the most important game we played so far this season. This is the get right game. This is the we went out overconfident. We underperformed, poor play calling. We decided to go away from our bread and butter because you get sometimes in the season where these coaches get all high and mighty. Oh, they're going to look for us to run. So we're just going to throw the ball all day. You can't control the clock when you're throwing the ball all day. You can only control the clock if you're taking the actual time to say, you know what? Let me do what needs to be done. Let me run the ball, even if we're not being effective. But we were effective when we ran. But even if you're not effective, you run the ball to set up play action. You run the ball to allow the defense extra time to relax. We have to do that this week. I don't care who we're playing. It is time to take over. It's time for people to understand that the Philadelphia Eagles are not a game. We had a bad loss. We're coming back, foot's on throat, punching people in the mouth, punching people in the face, and letting people know who we are. Eagles Diva, my bad. Jay Swoop is on you.
Oh, okay. Let me be honest. We're gonna win, and I ran out of time to prepare. I'm not gonna lie, so I didn't have any time to go into my little notes and my little research. So I apologize, Eagles fan. I ran out of time, and let's just go on from here. I apologize.
Okay, then. Well, for Jay Swoop, I'll say run the ball a lot, work play action, hit the open receivers for the short passes, get Hurts in rhythm. Don't call a lot of run plays for Jalen Hurts.
Please.
Jalen Hurts works better as a runner. Yeah,
I
he works
hate
better
it
as a
so
runner
much.
when it just happens, when it's just organically happens in the game. He drops back,
Yeah.
the guy's running behind him, he sees a lane and he goes. But don't call plays for him. Always have receivers out on routes. Also, we had receivers out on routes. Just a weird thing here, but it's this weird thing called like less people in the box, more open lanes for a guy to run. It's weird. I know it's crazy. I know making sense sometimes can be difficult for our coordinators to do, especially this last game. But you just continue to run the routes. Do it out of different formations. Right? Don't become stagnant. What I find funny is we sit there and we complain about screen passes, how many screen passes we throw a game. Where were they at this week? We had like 2.
Yeah.
right? Like, don't get away from your bread and butter. Just spread it out. Don't go into games and say, we're going to find a way to be somebody different so we can win. No. Go in games being who you are. Let people know the Eagles are going to run the ball 30, 40 times a game. We've got to be able to stop them 30, 40 times a game if we're going to win this game. Don't go out there and run the ball 15 times and give them ways to beat you. Go out there and be who you are, be yourselves. People can know what's coming. I'll put it like when you played Tecmo Bowl back in the day, right? If the defense called the right play for you, everybody blitz. But if you had quick hands and you had a good receiver, you could still get a play over the top. And if you got a play over the top on the passing play, that's a touchdown every time. You can know what the other team's going to do. If you out execute, you still can have positive plays with those. Philadelphia has got to go back to that bruising, attacking, running. I want more Trey Sermon. If anybody from the organization is watching,
Yes.
anybody that has any decision making power, the bowling ball with legs from Key Williams herself, from the words from her mouth, needs to be out there on the field.
Yeah, I love Boston Scott, but I would gladly take his roster spot to put Trey Sermon in there. Like, put him in there, and you could keep Kenny Gainwell because he got hands. Like, he can catch and he can run, but you need to have that big bruiser back with Miles Sanders, and you need to actually run the ball. Because, like you said, it's infuriating to see how well we can run the ball in the second half. So it's like we could have been doing this the whole game. Miles Sanders could have had easily 100 yards plus every game so far, but they just refusing to do so.
Yeah, and I get part of it may be that you're concerned with his injury history, but guess what?
Yeah.
If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. You know, I mean, I'm not wishing injury on anybody on my team or any
Either
team
way,
for
you
that.
still
But
got other running
yeah,
backs you can rotate in and out. It doesn't have to be just Miles, but you
yeah,
just run the
run
ball.
the ball, run the goddamn ball. The ball should be down the road of the Colts. Every team that we play the remainder of this year and in the playoffs, they should know we're going to run the ball 30 plus times every game, period. That's Eagles football. That's what got us to the playoffs last year. They had the schedule. That's what got us to 8-0. We got away from it, and we're 8-1. If you don't see the correlation, I do not know what to tell you as the people are play callers, as fans, as all that. A lot of people are lamenting, crying. There's a lot of people running around, all this negative things to say about the Eagles. Guess what? What are you going to say when we win this week? Because I'm calling the win. I'm calling the blowout. I think we go out there and I think we show everybody it's time. We ain't playing no more. Like, forget all that. We're going to do a little bit and be cute the second half. It's time to go out and have a complete game. No more waiting. No more trying to just barely win. Go out there and beat everybody's donkey the most that you
go.
can. It's time to show dominance, man. We've been sitting around just barely winning, coasting by, and we got lackadaisical players kind of chilling a little bit. Not as concerned with going as hard all the time. All that needs to change. Now
No,
that we
we
got
need
that L,
the
let's
50
go.
point games like we used to have. What happened to that?
Yeah, even if it's not 50, even if it's 35-7, you know what I'm saying? 35-10.
Yeah.
Beat some butt
Ass.
cheeks.
Sorry.
Oh, you can say it. I
Whoops.
just don't. I don't. But hey,
Okay, I'll say
we
it
are
for
all
you.
adults here.
Ass. I
That's
feel
all
like
we gotta
I'm
do.
taking over for Rowdy a little bit here.
You are rowdy. You are rowdy in
My
spirit.
Rowdy standing. I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Moving the ball is not the issue, which is crazy. We had three different opportunities to win this past game, and it just comes down to error, and it's lack. I don't know if it's lack of coaching, or they just weren't as prepared. They took a couple of extra days off that week because it was a longer week.
Too many days off. Like we've had a break. You see what I'm saying? Like we had a bye week, and then we had that 1 week. Like it was too much. Philly don't
Kind
work
of
well.
lost momentum.
Right. We don't work well like that. Like we got to keep it rolling.
yeah, we got a few comments. We
Okay.
did do Blue Cities earlier, so that we got I'm gonna leave that one.
Yeah, Rowdy.
Commit
Submit to the run.
Definitely.
Send Rowdy
Straight up.
some good spirits. He's sick.
Absolutely. Yeah, Rowdy will be on. Definitely just a little sick this week.
Excuse me, 1 second. King
You don't have to ask
DV
excuses.
would like to join us for a few minutes. I sent the link, so if there's time.
You got about 5, King DV. Not a lot of time. What I
All
was gonna
right.
say is, King DV, if you'd rather, we'd love to have you on. Just come on and just hang out with us for a whole episode. You can do next week if you want. If you're available, man, that way you can really get into the content with us, get in and talk about everything. I prefer to have you on that way, just saying. But we definitely gonna get you on, man. And don't forget Mr. Blue City Empire Sports. When that Instagram comes back up, or if you need to send me a text message, whatever we need to do, we need to get this link to you.
Smoke signals. You
You
said
know what I'm
smoke.
saying? Whatever it takes, we'll get it to you because I'm gonna need you on here for those Giants games. And hey, you want to bring the smoke? We give you the opportunity to parlay all the smoke you want right here, live and in effect. But
Good
just to
luck,
close
Blue
out,
City.
exactly. Just to close out for me, I want to say, man, I appreciate everybody that's been in the comments watching the show. I appreciate everybody that watches
Thank
the
you.
replays. These
Absolutely.
3 people here with me, appreciate every one of these people more than they know, as well as the Rowdy one himself, even though he wasn't able to make it this week.
Mr. Rowdy.
This this is something that I've been wanting to do for years, man. And I finally got the right set of people in the right situation to make it happen. So I'm very excited about this.
Aw.
So I'm just very grateful, man. I know we lost, but I'm not going to sit here and be upset all week and whatever. But I will say this: if you are someone that is my personal friend on Facebook, or you're in a group with me, and you come for the Eagles, just understand that there were 3 people have came for me. All 3 of those people were not sent for, so I went back for them, and now they're no longer my friends.
Cool.
So I just want to say that, man. And again, everybody that's watching, those that may not have been able to watch this week, that will check out the replays. Those who were able to hop in and catch part of the show, but not the whole show.
Y'all
We
check
do
out
this.
DV too. He got his own.
Yeah.
Y'all check out DV.
We appreciate you, man. We love everybody that's on here. This is not a fan content creator situation. We fan, man. Whether you're an Eagles fan, whether you're with
Always.
somebody else, if you're here supporting us, man, nothing but love to you. All I ask
Yeah.
next week, bring a friend with you. Make sure you like the show. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and please share it. We want to make this grow so we can do even more. Next year, there's going to be a lot of more things happening with it. So this is the foundation, but we're going to grow for sure.
Blue City, bring
Absolutely.
3 or 4 friends at least next week. You'll need it. You're gonna need it. Rowdy will be back so good.
That's
Yeah,
going to be
good
rough
luck
on you
on
right
that.
there.
Mhm.
So Wyatt, man, any final thoughts from you, sir?
No, man, I'm just gotta have some confidence with this team. We saw them how well they can play and put it all together. We saw them face some adversity this season. This is obviously the biggest moment. Like you said, this is probably the biggest game of the season going forward, just because coming off that loss, this is the get right game. How are they going to respond coming out of this terrible week? So I'm looking forward to this game. Hopefully we come out and just put boots on their neck, man. Drive up that score on them and send a message.
Yeah, why? That's what I'm talking about. Why?
All right. Swoop, what you got for us, Jay Swoop?
Well, I appreciate everybody that I just saw live chat. We love you all too. And what did blue? I don't know. Whatever. May the best team win. I thought we were first, and we are winning. So I don't know. So just come back next week, Blue City, and bring a lot of friends.
Just make sure that tail is here when we play the midgets. That's all. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's it.
And one more thing, Alyssa, thank you so much. You're a great help to me, and thank you for letting us post our podcast on your group.
Appreciate you, Alyssa.
Oh, absolutely,
Appreciate all
absolutely,
the love.
absolutely.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Scrub Zero got one for us. We gotta take it too. We gotta take it. That's my guy, Scrub Zero. We gotta take that with Scrub Zero.
No, we would.
True.
True.
Yeah, we gotta take that one. That's a factual statement.
Yeah,
Mhm,
facts. All facts. No
absolutely.
lies.
Mm-hmm.
Not mad, man. Hey, you gotta lose sometimes.
Get away with
Sometimes the
that
way you
17-0
lose.
talk.
Thank you.
Exactly. Like,
Thank
we don't have to talk about it anymore. We got the loss out of the season, out of the way. It wasn't to Arlington, which is exactly what we talked about. It would have been terrible to have that first L come to Arlington, get that out of the way. So, I mean, from here on, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's march forward, get some dubs. Go roll in the
Bird gang.
playoffs.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag be
Be
elite.
elite. Hashtag be elite.
Have a good
And
one.
make sure you hop in with us next week. Before we go, we got a couple more comments. And we interactive. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Better lose down the
Exactly.
postseason. 1,000% agree.
Oh,
I was
so
hoping to
true.
trust LK to the Giants. At least you guys are not hiding your team lost. That I
Man,
respect.
still?
True.
Never.
True. Yeah, true. Hey, man, there's only one team that does that, and they reside in Arlington, Texas. They
Yep.
lose, they fans is gone. They only came back out because we lost. Like,
Every time you say Arlington, I can't help but laugh. I'm sorry. That was great.
hey, that's where they're at. I'm just calling them the city they play in. We play in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia.
Pennsylvania. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that about some of the other teams, but we play in Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, another great episode. We'll be back next week. Like I said, bring a friend and tell a friend to bring a friend with them, too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have
Yes,
a good
sir.
one.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Oh,
we'll see you
couple
next
more.
week when we win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Commanders made the division look bad, needed a hand. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Fly,
I like
Eagles,
that one.
fly.
Yeah, that's it.
The Arlington
Tell
Cowboys.
the Cowboys.
Exactly. You already know how it is.
You
You already know what it is, scrub.
Absolutely. All right, so guys, we didn't even do this at the beginning because we wanted to save the extra few minutes because we were so serious about what we saw on Monday night. But we're going to end it the right way. Holler at us next week. We'll have Rowdy Rob back.
Yay.
Probably a couple more guests. We're going to have a good time.
The kick is away, and the kick it's good! And the Eagles win!
It's hard to come to South Philadelphia and leave here with the win. You just don't come to Philadelphia and leave here with the win.
Eagles fans everywhere, this is for you. Let the celebration begin.